Welcome back, everybody. This video I'm making kind of about how I manage the farm at home, plus manage working full-time in pediatric anesthesia. Today I got to come in late because of COVID. Unfortunately, we are stopping all of our elective cases, so I normally work from 7A to 7P, but because we have no cases, they're letting me come in a little late, which is really nice because I was able to take care of everybody at home, spend some time working with Ruby a little bit, and I was able to have my coffee and come into work. So anyways, I just thought I'd bring you guys along and kind of show you how my day goes. Alright, so I told y'all that I still work full-time at the hospital doing anesthesia, but today is a little bit different because of COVID. Our census on cases is down because we're trying to save rooms for all the sick people with COVID. So because of that, I'm a 12-hour today, so I usually work 7 to 7. But I get to go in a little bit late today, so it gives me an opportunity to come out in the daylight and kind of check everybody before I go to work and make sure everybody's doing good. But I normally do this at like 5 in the morning before I get ready and go to work. Feed everybody and, kind of check over everybody. So it's kind of a nice little change. Unfortunately, because of COVID, things are different right now. But anyway, so I was just going to take y'all along with me this morning, see how things go. Gracie, Opal, Charlotte, Coraline. That's my pigs. And my 2 guard dogs for here. So they're incredibly valuable to me. I don't know what I would do without those guard dogs. Oh, you can hear the sheep coming. As soon as they hear me getting the food buckets, they'll be out here or up here. Keep the sheep from getting the pig food and the dog food. Come on, girls. Good morning. So this little one, she's a twin lamb. Her sister died from worms, unfortunately. So she survived, but she was skinnier than everybody else, so she gets some special treatment. So now we get the sheep food, and you'll see that I have a little helper. So she gets to eat out here while everybody else has to eat in there. Most important thing is to be sure to turn off the hot wire fence. You don't want to touch that, I promise, because I've already hit it once and oh my gosh, it's terrible for a human. Probably not so bad for an animal, but luckily they don't really hit it very often. You also have to remember to plug it back in because you don't want the cow getting out. So that's why we have the hot wire in the first place, is because of the cow. Now it's time to go feed the boys. Well, looks like they pushed their feeder up. That's okay. Now to feed the guard dogs for the front. You may ask, why do you have so many guard dogs? Well, because I have a mountain lion problem. So, I have a mountain lion that likes to come and eat my sheep. So, she's never gotten a ram, but we do have a mountain lion. So, I keep all my sheep fairly protected. I don't know, you saw my other video, I'm sure, about my dogs, and that's the real reason that I got into a sheep farm, was for my dogs and myself, because I really loved seeing a border collie do what they're supposed to do. So we kind of jumped all in on this, and we've been here, 2 years, and I've learned a whole lot. You certainly don't get into sheep farming to be rich, that's for sure. But I do it so that I can have sheep to train my dogs with. So that is a big part of the commitment to having border collies and to having being a sheep herder. You got to be dedicated, and I mean, I feel like I'm pretty dedicated to the dogs, to the sheep, to the whole process. So of course we've expanded some. We have cows now and pigs, but you know, the pigs are really just pets. We don't eat them. So they were abandoned, I guess you could say, or not abandoned, but they were rescue, and so they've been with us about a year now, and I really like them. They're pretty fun. They're more like dogs than pigs, really. But anyways, so yeah, we do all this basically for the dogs, but I do love my sheep. They're pretty sweet. They all have their own little personalities, so. So, continuation on of my other video about the dogs. The man that we met to help me train Radar ended up being a huge influence in my life, and he changed the whole direction of my life just through dogs. He's since passed on, and it was a really hard time for me to get through, but I had two amazing gifts at that time from him. I had Doc, who he bred, picked, named, and gave to me, because I think he really knew deep down inside that I really wanted to be a competitive sheep herder. And he always kept saying, you know, when are you going to buy a farm? When are you going to buy a farm? Or when are you going to buy some land and get your own sheep? So he like planted this little seed in my mind, and I finally just got to the point where I saw the potential in Doc as he was growing, and I knew that once a week trips to his house to work dogs, or even twice a week, was never going to be enough for him or me. I needed to learn about sheep. I needed to understand how they moved. I needed to understand all the things sheep so that I could be better for my dog. So that was the real motivator between Radar and Doc that got us here. But before that, he had given me Tom, who was his fully trained dog that he competed with, and she taught me about sheep herding. Tom was phenomenal. She's going to be 12 next month, so she's retired. She's losing her eyesight and her hearing, and so she just lives out the life of retirement here at the ranch / farm. She's still an amazing girl, and we take her out and let her work the sheep when it's not too hot and when it's plenty of daylight, and she's so happy. But there's a lot that goes into training a dog. You know, I train them myself mostly. I do have a new friend that has been helping me for the last year or so. His name's Jack, and he has taught me so much about dog training and herding dogs and how to teach herding, and it's just incredible what I've learned and how it has helped us so much. But anyways, that's another video. So I still go out to his house for training. I try to go twice a week. Sometimes it's just once a week, and now that we're getting to trialing season, it's going to be a little bit different, you know, days that I can go out there. But I'll make a video about that as well. And he's helping me with Ruby, and then the new pups that are coming up, we'll get those started soon. So anyhow, that's kind of where we are, and that's just a little bit of our story. I do raise the sheep for sale. We probably won't have lambs right now, and maybe not till next year, because during the snowstorm in February I fell on the ice and I hurt my hip, and I'm gonna need to have surgery. But I've been putting it off because of, well, one, it's going to be very inconvenient, and the pain wasn't so bad until the last few months. It's been getting worse. I've tried a couple steroid injections. I've tried physical therapy, just all in the effort to avoid having surgery and being down and out for such a long time. But it's getting to where it's starting to affect me sleeping at night, so that's really been a difficult challenge, especially as busy as I am with work and dogs. And I just finished my doctorate, so I was also doing schoolwork during that time. Anyhow, so we may not have lambs till next fall, because I missed the opportunity this fall to have lambs, and I really don't want to have them in the spring again, because we had such problems with worms this year. And a very wise friend of mine told me that, you know, that's the problem with having spring lambs, is all the rain and you get worms. So we may skip this season and have lambs in the fall. We'll just have to see how it goes next fall, because it's going to be hard to help deliver babies if I can't walk. So I just got to think about all those things as I'm planning for the future, because my husband does a lot of things and he's great, but I really love being there when the lambs are born and helping, and, you know, if they need help. I don't help if they don't need help, but I really enjoy that, and I would hate to not be able to be there, or if they needed something, to help them, because it doesn't always go without trouble. I've had to pull a few, you know, so anyhow, it's just stuff to think about for the future. Okay, now I'm headed off to my regular full-time job. After I got all my morning chores done here, and now I am headed into work.